It's just hypocrisy. It's the native tongue of conservatives. Hypocrisy. The predictable pattern has begun. In the wake of an absolutely horrific event where Charlie Kirk was assassinated, Donald Trump is capitalizing on this moment, which signals to the militias and the radical right wing and the violent base that it's okay for them to also radicalize and talk about violence. I talked about what Donald Trump said on Fox News this morning. I talked about what Steven Crowder and Megyn Kelly talked about in a video. And now we're going to talk about not only the militia groups, the organized militia groups that have membership, that have been pardoned by Donald Trump for their attempt to overthrow the United States government on January 6, 2021. But they are now coordinating with one another to start vigilante groups. I'm going to read like 4 paragraphs from this Mother Jones article, and then I'm going to show you that this bleeds out into the mainstream Republicans. I've got 2 clips from people who posted videos online that are disturbing. They're stupid. Both of these individuals are just fucking morons, but they have intent. They are animated to action based on conspiracy theory, based on nebulous theys and yous before they know anything about the motivations of the individual who we now are being told is someone named Tyler Robinson, 22 of Utah. But they didn't know that when they posted these videos. This is the headline written by, the headline probably wasn't written by Kiera Butler and Julianne McShane, but this is the Mother Jones headline. Pardoned insurrectionists are using Charlie Kirk's death to call for civil war. Charlie Kirk's assassination pulled me out of retirement. More work must be done. In the aftermath of Wednesday's assassination of right-wing youth leader Charlie Kirk, in the midst of more sober calls for mourning and moderation, many far-right influencers quickly began to call for revenge against the left, whom they blame for Kirk's death. They did so even though the shooter still has not been identified, nor their motivations revealed. But it's not just random individuals circulating such violent fantasies. Leaders of prominent extremist groups and pardoned insurrectionists have issued calls to their networks to seek revenge. In an email to Mother Jones, Devin Burkhart, executive director of the Extremism Research Group Institute for Research and Education on Human Rights, expressed his concern that reactions to Kirk's death could, quote, energize the far right to intensify political violence from street clashes and armed paramilitism to calls for racist terror. We have witnessed the carnage that has been brought by the 3%ers, by the Proud Boys, by the Oath Keepers, Stuart Rhodes, again, the steely-eyed warrior, since he has an eye patch. Did you know that not Charlie Kirk, did you know that Stuart Rhodes shot his own eye out? He's such a proficient administrator of rounds down range that he shot his own fucking eye out. This is the guy who wants to patrol the streets and keep us safe. Great. Consider the message from Stuart Rhodes, one-eyed founder of the Oath Keepers militia group, who was sentenced to 18 years in prison for seditious conspiracy, by the way, was his charge. 18 years in prison for his role in leading the Capitol insurrection on January 6, 2021, before being pardoned by President Donald Trump in January, along with nearly 1,600 others. I don't know. This is just me in my head. I would assume that Mother Jones did their due diligence. I think his sentence was commuted. I think it was a commutation. I don't think he was a full pardon, unconditional pardon. But somebody fact check me. You can let me know in the comments. Along with nearly 1,600 others. On Wednesday, he said on Alex Jones's InfoWars podcast that he would be restarting his organization in the wake of Kirk's killing. Quote, I'm going to be rebuilding Oath Keepers, Rhodes said, and we will be doing protection again. The group never formally disbanded, but has receded from the spotlight after their leader's conviction. Quote, one thing we will be doing is public protection of patriots again, like we used to. It's incredibly necessary, Rhodes added. I'm sure the Proud Boys will agree. If we have to, we'll go and ride the train again, just like the Guardian Angels did. He was referring to the New York City Vigilante group, Republican mayoral candidate Curtis Sliwa started in 1979. Again, are you going to feel safe on the metro here in Washington, D.C., or wherever Stuart Rhodes is? The cyclops of a man who shot his own eye out because he's so lacking in proficiency or concern or safety with safety protocols, or the negligent discharge of a round into his own fucking head. Great. I'll feel very safe with Stuart Rhodes again on the case. Now look, this trickles down. There are people who follow, either in spirit or literally follow the posts, follow the attitudes, follow the action of the Oath Keepers, of the 3%ers, of these boogaloo terrorists, of the Proud Boys. And we are seeing that all over the internet. I'm going to show you this right now. This is Robin and Bat Dog, a person who appears to be, they're dressed, maybe it's just cosplay. I don't know if they're actually attached to some police department. But if he is, this is a cop who's in uniform talking about the left and you've woken a sleeping giant and all of these weird attitudes that he's talking about. Blaming the left, blaming Democrats, blaming liberals for something he has zero evidence of. Is this the kind of acumen he brings to the job of peace officer? Does he go into his job where he is supposed to serve and protect, spewing conspiracy theories about Joe Biden pooping his pants in front of the Pope, something that didn't happen? Does he take his marching orders from internet weirdos who create conspiracies out of whole cloth? It appears so. Watch Robin and Bat Dog from TikTok.
You know, I told myself I wasn't going to make this video, but I'm going to make it. You know, when Joe Biden was falling upstairs and falling downstairs and falling off of his bike and crapping his pants in public, in front of the Pope, no less, sure, we poked a little bit of fun at him because it was embarrassing for us as a country. And then when he was diagnosed with cancer, I don't remember seeing a single conservative Republican wishing him to be unalived. But yet, you fucking liberals try to assassinate our president when he was running for office again. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. And then you go after and assassinate this young man with a wife and 2 children simply because of his values and his religious beliefs. And also the fact that he was a shit-hot debater and you really stood no chance if you were on the opposing side with him. He was well-read, he was well-educated, he was self-educated. Like he openly stated, he never went to college, he was just a high school graduate. And he made something for himself. And in the last 20 minutes, I have seen nothing but hate and spew vomit come out of liberals' mouths all over social media. Elated and happy that Charlie was assassinated simply because of his beliefs. Y'all just definitely opened up a can of worms you're going to wish to Christ that you freaking never even touched. Sick of this shit.
You know, this, I don't know, what is with our culture or social media culture? What compels this is very akin to people who go and they've got their camera. This is my battery, but they set their camera on is this even in frame? I can't even tell. They set their camera on a tripod and then they record themselves crying just to display to the world how upset they are about whatever thing, rather than just being sad and cry. It's like, oh, no, wait, pause the tears. I got to get this on camera. We got to log this for the internet. This needs to be set in stone for posterity's sake. That's what this guy just did. You know, I told myself I wasn't going to make this video, but I'm going to make it. You did, huh? You had to get these gems out into the ether, huh? Robin and Bat Dog, Officer Robin and fucking Bat Dog. You had to get it out there. I'm going to post it anyway. The world needs to know the genius that I'm getting ready to spew. And then you proceed to lie, or at the very least spread conspiracy theories, things that did not happen about Joe Biden. And then your warped understanding of what the right brought against Joe Biden. When he got cancer, nobody said anything. We were all concerned about the president. Blah, blah, blah. Do you live in reality, brother? But yet you fucking liberals, he says, don't bleep this, Chris, but you fucking liberals try to assassinate our president when he was running for office. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. There was one assassination attempt to Donald Trump. One. And it was not one of you fucking liberals, as you so quaintly put it. It was a registered Republican, sir. If you had actually paid attention to the news and not gotten your news from TikTok, maybe you'd know that. If you weren't such an idiot, an addled moron in your brain, a weak-minded rube, you would know that. The second assassination attempt wasn't a shot wasn't even taken. Donald Trump wasn't even in view. A guy was apprehended hiding out on the golf course, also a Republican. And there was no third assassination attempt, dipshit. You're lathering yourself up for no reason, based on conspiracy theory. Y'all, whoever y'all is, we still don't even know, at this very moment, don't know the motivations of the shooter. We don't know, but apparently Robin and Bat Dog does. Y'all just definitely opened up a can of worms. You're going to wish to Christ that you freaking never even touched. What can of worms did Wall open up? What can of worms? This wasn't a coordinated effort. This wasn't, oh yeah, he took his orders from the top. Yet, they will find any excuse for violence. They will follow the lead of the dear leader at the top, Donald Trump, which trickles down to the Oath Keepers and the Proud Boys, and he will feel justified in the violence that he inflicts on his fellow citizens. Imagine this guy on the beat, who apparently has a canine, trained, vicious animal at his behest that he can dispatch to harm people. Tell me again about, just a couple of bad apples. No, it is not. Let's look at Ryan Curtis 269 on TikTok. Again, TikTok, just a lovely platform, apparently, replete with conspiracy theorists and threatening violence dipshits. Get a load of this, goober.
Let me just put it out here clear. If any of you are making videos on what just happened and him passing away, fuck you. I swear to God, if you guys want to start it, start it. Pretty much what you just did was start it. So, be on the lookout. Watch behind your shoulders. I swear to God, this is not the time you guys want to be walking the fucking earth with pink hair and attitudes. Go do your LGBTQ queer ass, whatever the fuck you gotta do, march your fucking lines, but now you just crossed it. And it's not gonna be good for you. You just took out an amazing fucking person, a father, a husband, a son. The next time somebody decides they want to defend themselves or kill or do this to somebody, I'm gonna cheer it on the entire time. Let's fucking go. If you're supporting that, if you want to do it, right and left wing, let's fucking do it then. Next time one of you motherfuckers are running up on a police officer or somebody else and end up getting killed, just like the rooster, I'm gonna be crowing every fucking morning. Yes!
I mean, it's incomprehensibly stupid, first of all. Starts off with a very threatening tone, threatening people with pink hair and I don't even know. But you better be on the lookout. Watch behind your shoulders. Watch behind your shoulders, says Ryan Curtis. It just struck me, he's trying to be ominous. Ryan Curtis is trying to be intimidating. Wow. The next time somebody decides they want to defend themselves or kill or do this to somebody, I'm going to cheer it on the entire... That's your threat? You're going to be someone who cheers it on? You're going to be crowing every morning? Great segue, though. Lucky that the chicken made noise. Fantastic. Look, obviously this guy is less of a threat, certainly rhetorically, than others. But the fact remains, look, yesterday I played a bunch of videos of people who are out there rabble-rousing, to say the least, but also pose a danger to their individual communities because they're so whipped up on conspiracy. They're so convinced of something they have no evidence of that they will commit violence. A mob in Idaho yesterday attacked a dude for allegedly something he said about Charlie Kirk. So the people, this is beautiful. This just struck me. The same people who are acting as though Charlie Kirk, they brought violence against him just for the things that he said, are also the same people who are bringing violence against people for things they say. So apparently, it's a wild double standard. Violence can be brought against anybody for the things they say if it's a conservative on a liberal. But if a liberal says something, if a conservative gets harmed, oh my God, this is outrageous. What about the freedom of speech, y'all? It's just hypocrisy. It's the native tongue of conservatives. Hypocrisy. What do you think? I invite you to this conversation. We can have it in the comments below. I would really appreciate some mixing it up in the comments below. We could do it agreeably, even if we disagree. We can. I know, I've seen it done. You can also call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054, or you can email me, daily@dollemore.com. I appreciate you very much. Please consider supporting this work if you appreciate the style, my bombacity, or the information that I provide. If I bring you value, just generally bring you value, $2 a month, you can become a channel member right here on YouTube. Click the join button below, or even better, you can go over to YouTube or, Patreon. You go over to patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast and help support there. I love and appreciate you very much. I will see you next time. Be genuine and take care of one another.